Passionate speeches, angry accusations and counter-accusations. The Pakistan National Assembly witnessed a barrage of speeches today from both the government and the opposition leaders. The biggest agenda of the day was the no-confidence motion vote against Prime Minister Imran Khan. Whether the vote will happen eventually is uncertain. Meanwhile, the Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan is expected to address the parliament in a short while from now, before that vote if it happens. The Pakistan National Assembly has already been adjourned for the fourth time today and is expected to convene in a few minutes from now. The opposition, meanwhile, has blamed Imran Khan for using delaying tactics in face of the no-confidence motion. Chanting slogans of holding the vote immediately, intense ruckus unfolded in the parliament. This was a scene inside the National Assembly. Take a look. Amid the political upheaval, Imran Khan was seen at a fundraising event at a private hospital in Islamabad. In a further bid to either delay or stop the no-trust vote, reports saying that the Pakistan government could be looking at the possibility of filing a review petition against the Supreme Court's verdict on the Deputy Speaker's April 3rd ruling. This comes a day after the Prime Minister had claimed to have accepted the Apex Court's decision on Friday. Today in the Assembly, the Pakistan Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said that the Speaker's decision ahead of the no-trust motion vote against the Prime Minister was final.
तारीख गवाह होगी, तारीख हक़ाइक़ कभी छुपते नहीं हैं, दबाए जा सकते हैं, पर्दे में रखे जा सकते हैं, छुपाए जा सकते हैं, लेकिन एक वक्त आएगा जनाब चेयरमैन कि तारीख उनको बेनकाब करेगी। तारीख उन लोगों को जिन लोगों ने ये सारा नाटक रचाया है उनको बेनकाब करेगी, याद रखिए।
And the latest update coming in this minute. According to reports, the Islamabad High Court is taking up the petition for restraining Prime Minister Imran Khan from removing the army chief. For more updates, let's go across to our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik, who has been tracking those developments. Anas, get us up to speed with the latest at this point.
Well, as we speak, there's high drama in here, Molly. Confirmations, courts, denials, it's all going on. Just an hour and a half left in that deadline of the Supreme Court to ensure a vote of no confidence that takes place today. And then there's high drama that's taking place. For the past 1 hour, the session was to take place about an hour back. It was adjourned for the fourth time today, and it's yet to begin. The Speaker is said to be at the Prime Minister House. That's to my left. I'm standing inside the Pakistani National Assembly. Behind me is the red zone, and all we see are MP cars and then some security personnel that are around, beefed up security measures. I can see FC personnel deployed, police sitting there, police guarding. So it's high drama essentially in Pakistan. A petition has been filed to restrain Prime Minister Khan from removing Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa, and that's what has been reported as well. And we also got a copy of that petition, but that's a preemptive measure. Government sources deny, and responsible government sources deny any such speculations that there can possibly be a rift between the military and the Pakistani civilian administration, that is the Imran Khan administration, and they say that they're very much on the same page and that the Pakistani Army Chief COS General Bajwa is very much here to stay. He's not being removed. That has been reported through government sources, and that the preemptive measure is just it's a preemptive measure. Now, what is to be noted is that it's roughly 10:30 a.m. here. The session has been ongoing for the past 12 hours now, non-stop, with 4 breaks. At least it's been adjourned with four times, but essentially, given that it has not been prorogued, therefore the House still is believed to be in session. It's high drama that continues here in Islamabad. Nobody knows what's going to be the fate of the vote of no confidence. the opposition have sent a petition to the speaker for his act of contempt of court that has been signed by the joint opposition. So all is happening just hours before we inch closer to midnight, hours before we inch closer to the change of date. The Supreme Court is reportedly being opened as well at midnight in order to issue a contempt notice. So as I said, it's high drama that's happening here in Islamabad as we speak, Molly.
Right. So, Anas, Imran Khan's government is trying every trick in the book to try and delay this vote, which has still not happened. The deadline that was given by the court in its verdict was that the House has to convene at 10:30 a.m. and 12 hours later, we still do not see the vote happening at this point. Now, like you said, that review petition has been filed. Give us a better sense of what that means, its impact on the vote, if at all, and what the petition really says.
Well, I'll answer your question very shortly. I think there is some movement. If my camera person can just show that and show those cars, if you are able to see,
yes,
those are some police cars that are moving around, and if you can probably see those flashing lights of the police vehicles, they're just passing by very near to the National Assembly. Still unclear who's in that convoy. I can count. It's near to the. It's very near from the Prime Minister's office. It's not clear if it's the Prime Minister. It goes onwards towards the. It's not coming inside the Parliament. So it's going toward the cavalcade is going towards the Supreme Court, for sure. And there were reports earlier that it was the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of Pakistan, who would be. Who will be coming shortly to the Supreme Court as well in order to preside the proceedings as I talk to you, and we just saw a convoy or a cavalcade going in, getting from this Constitution Avenue, crossing the Parliament. We were expecting that to enter the Parliament and then going towards the Supreme Court. So it's presumed to be the Chief Justice of Pakistan. Having said that, about this petition, this is a preemptive measure, but you never know. But one thing that is very certain is, because there were a lot of speculations, but one thing that is very certain, that the government, so highly placed government sources have denied any such news that's going to come through, that can possibly come through, or the speculations that were there with regards to the removal of Army Chief, and that is something that is very certain, that there's nothing unconstitutional, at least prima facie, that is being done, and the Pakistani administration is not doing anything to irk the military, at least, and they would want to be in their good books, even if they are ousted from power. Molly?
Right. To those uninitiated, Anas, given Pakistan's history, the removal of a prime minister through various means is something that has already happened. But yes, go ahead.
Has just left the Prime Minister office, and in a very short while from now, we'd probably be seeing him entering from the other exit, that's from the Eman Sadr or the Presidency's entrance towards the Parliament. That's on the other side of the gate. That's not where I am at, but he will be here very shortly. That's what has been confirmed now, and we can say that with surety. Molly?
Yes, Anas, I was just saying, to those uninitiated, just help our viewers understand why the removal of the Army Chief is something that was speculated, and why at this point we're looking at the petition to restrain Imran Khan from removing the Army Chief.
Prime Minister aa gaya? Well, as I said, it was just speculative at this point of time.
Yes.
And it was just very speculative whether the Prime Minister or such a move can happen. But all of these rumors have been laid to rest by the highly placed government sources as well. As I was talking to you, the cavalcade that we saw, I can confirm that it was the Chief Justice of Pakistan who has just arrived at the Supreme Court. So we were live We showed you the visual, that cavalcade, that cross, which we were presuming to be the Chief Justice. It's now confirmed that it is Chief Justice Umar Adha Bandial, who has reached the Supreme Court of Pakistan at 10:41 in the night here in Islamabad. The Supreme Court is just right next to, literally next door to the Parliament. It's a small walk, and the Supreme Court Chief Justice has arrived. Shortly, we'll be seeing the Prime Minister arriving as well. Molly?
Right, 10:43 p.m. right now in Islamabad, Anas. Just over an hour to go for the vote as per the court's verdict to be held, and if that is not done, then the contempt of court notice will be issued. What is the opposition strategy at this point?
The opposition has already signed a contempt petition and they've sent it to the speaker. Okay. That's a preemptive measure that they've done. Okay, so the Prime Minister has just spoken to senior journalists, and as a senior journalist, it was a select group of journalists. I'm sorry, I'll answer your question last in a while. Yes. He said that he will not give up at all costs. He will not give up at all costs. He will not be leaving, and that he will not let this foreign conspiracy succeed. He's saying that he's never given up earlier, and he's not giving up now. This is what Imran Khan has said in his conversation with senior journalists. He said that I will continue to do my work as per the constitution and law. The Prime Minister has been quoted in his conversation with senior journalists. He's also denied that the news of him changing the army chief is not true. He has never even thought about that. He said that the alleged letter or the foreign conspiracy letter will be shown to the Chief Justice, to the Speaker, to the Chairman Senate, to the Army Chief, to the Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee in its original form or not. That's still unclear. That's what the Prime Minister has said while in his conversation late night with senior journalist. Molly?
Right, Anas, as you piece together the latest coming in from on the ground, just for our viewers who might be tuning in, Anas Malik has been giving us those minute-by-minute developments. The Chief Justice of Pakistan, as he just mentioned, has arrived at the Pakistan Supreme Court, and the opposition's contempt of court notice, as well as the review petition by the government, those are the measures that have been taken already. But remember, it's 10:45 p.m. in Islamabad right now, and the court is looking at, and the court could be convened in a while from now as far as that contempt of court notice is concerned. Anas, what do we expect as far as the National Assembly proceedings are concerned at this point?
Molly, before I answer that, this is another piece of information that has come in. The Supreme Court Bar Association has submitted a petition of contempt of court against the Speaker. It has been submitted to the registrar of the court, citing the notion that the court had ordered the House to be convened at 10:30 a.m. And the voting to be done, but it still has not been done. What the sources at the National Assembly Secretariat say that they are adamant that the voting will be done today, and that they have also shown the written orders from the Supreme Court to the Speaker Assembly, and that they can assure that the voting is to be held today at all costs. Molly?
All right, so those fast-paced developments coming in, and as Anas Malik is getting us those updates from on the ground, just a reminder to our viewers, this was to be the final clash, the showdown as far as the Pakistan political drama is concerned. Earlier in the day, the National Assembly session was convened. The agenda was for the vote against the no-confidence motion that was moved by the opposition against Imran Khan. Imran Khan also has insisted just a while back, as Anas was telling us, that the no-confidence motion is the result of a foreign conspiracy. He continues to maintain that this is a foreign conspiracy to topple his government. As per the latest that Anas is telling us, the review petition that's also been filed by the government against the ruling that was given out by the Supreme Court, which had rejected the Deputy Speaker's ruling that was given out on the 3rd of April, which, remember, had rejected the no-confidence motion that was moved by the opposition against Imran Khan. So, Anas, Imran Khan continuing to stand by what he had said all this while, and he has continued to fight till the very last ball. The vote, he's tried every trick in the book to delay that vote. And as of now, since the numbers do not stack up in his favor, the vote has still not happened. And to save himself that embarrassment, he has also filed that his government, his party has also filed that review petition against the Supreme Court's verdict. Do we expect the Supreme Court session to convene at midnight as of now?
Night, but still uncertain. We do expect that to happen because we saw while we were doing that live just a very short while back, while we were answering that question, we saw that cavalcade of the Chief Justice going towards the Supreme Court. And while I was talking to you, there was another cavalcade that went through with jammer vehicles. Unclear of who that was. Could be the Prime Minister, could be not, could be somebody else as well. Unclear as I talk to you. So, because we had earlier said that the Prime Minister would be leaving very shortly from his residence, that's right across, and from there he will go to the presidency, and the presidency has an inner gate that leads directly inside the Parliament building in the Parliament House. So, he's expected to take that, but we saw just a very short while back, while you were asking me that question, we saw an army of vehicles going on with jammer vehicles with them. So it's still unclear who was in those vehicles. Now, these are fast-paced developments, essentially. We can expect the court to convene late at night. That's a probability because now that the Chief Justice is already there. But again, uncertainty looms, uncertainty remains. And we get to know these answers in about an hour and 10 minutes from now. In about 10 minutes from now, when the clock strikes midnight, when the clock strikes 12, the date changes, and then we'd only get to know whether or not the Supreme Court is going into action with regards to contempt of court against the Speaker or not. Molly?
Right. Talking about the review petition that's been filed by the government against the Supreme Court's earlier verdict, Anas, if you can take us through the details of that petition.
Well, that petition is yet to be filed before the Supreme Court. It has been prepared, but it is yet to be filed before the Supreme Court. For one reason, because the timing had passed for filing of that petition. As I talk to you, I've just got the text of the petition that has been filed, and it says by the Supreme Court bar against against the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, and basically against what has been happening today. That's what the petition reads. But okay, while I talk to you, a prisoner van has just arrived outside the Prime Minister, the Parliament. That's standard protocol. But right now, anything that happens, any movement that happens, is worth reporting. Molly.
Right. Anas, as you are telling us about that review petition, which now you've said is yet to be filed, but at the same time, the opposition, you said, has filed that contempt of court notice. If you can take us through the details of that.
No, so the opposition have sent a contempt of court notice to the Speaker. They have not filed it as yet. It's rather preemptive on the part of the opposition. And they've just sent it to the Speaker, notifying him how Delhi is committing a contempt of court, and that because they had in the House time and again been reminding the Speaker that he's committing contempt of court. Therefore, they have sent that notice so that they can proceed under that. If my camera person Faisal can follow, you see those flashing vehicles that are just passing through. Those are the vehicles of ministers and Islamabad police guarding them. So government ministers are now coming back to the house, and as I said, as we reported earlier, that the Prime Minister is due here at the Assembly in a short while from now, Molly.
Leaving it there for the moment, Anas, thanks very much for getting us those minute-by-minute updates. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.